Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Matt Modi with OddsJam. And today's video, I will be doing a preview of the Saturday wildcard games. So the first game we got is the Bengals versus the Raiders. And the next game, we got the Bills versus the Patriots. Bengals are the home team as well as the Bills. And the first up is going to be the Bengals versus the Raiders. So this game is going to be at 4:30 East time. There is one thing I want to preface before I get started is that I did a video earlier this week just giving some early lines that I liked. So I didn't go too much into the analysis of the games, more so just looking at the sharp money, the public percentage of money to see what I thought would be a good bet to get in on before the lines changed. In both of these games, I took the under. So just want to preface that by saying that I already have money down on the under in these games, and I did look before I recorded real quick, and they're both have positive expected value. So be prepared for me to speak a little bit more about the unders moving forward. But first, so this Bengals Raiders game. So as of right now, as you can see, there is a little bit of positive value on the Bengals money line. So the OddsJam perfect line has them at minus 232. The Raiders is at plus 202. And looks like you can get some value on the Bengals money line at minus 225 on Unibet, Barstool, and Bet Rivers. To give a prediction, I do think the Bengals win this game. Obviously, I'm not confident enough to put it on the odds at minus 225, maybe in a parlay. I'll do like a money line parlay of the favorites I think are going to win. I do. That is something that I like to do, and that I'll post on Twitter later. But looking at this game, and the no play on the money line. So let's look at the point spread. So it looks like the Bengals are 5.5 point favorites. One thing I did note is that so the Bengals and Raiders played earlier this year. This was in November. The Bengals kind of smoked them. So they played. The Bengals won 32-21. That was back in November, in the middle of the Raiders' kind of swoon. The Bengals also had a midseason swoon. So it was kind of interesting. They got smoked by the Browns November 7th. They came back, smoked the Raiders and the Steelers in back-to-back weeks. And then they had two pretty bad losses against the Chargers. Obviously, they got almost doubled up, lost 41-22. And they lost an O team against the 49ers. And then they followed that up with a 3-game win streak, and then you really take out the last week because they didn't even play any of their players. So a nice hard-fought win against a Broncos team that gave them some trouble. And then they put up two pretty impressive offensive performances, 41 points against the Ravens, and then the moneymaker right here, them beating the Chiefs 34-31. Incredibly impressive game. Obviously, we all remember Jamar Chase going off. And then looking at the Raiders' schedule, so I'll fully admit that I've never bought in on this Raiders team. They're riding a 4-game win streak that 3 of the games I really tried to disqualify. So Browns, third-string quarterback. Broncos, third-string quarterback for some of it. Drew Lock for the rest of it, and he stinks. Colts, Wentz had COVID, and we all saw what the Colts just did against the Jaguars. But so going into this Chargers-Raiders game, the Chargers were my lock. I was very confident that the Chargers would win. The market was in on them. The money line I got it on beat closing line value. I was very in on the Chargers, and guess what happened? They lost. So I've been fading this Raiders team for a while now. While I do think that the Bengals win straight up, I'm not confident enough on them covering the spread. So it looks like the value is actually more towards the Raiders. So we got 5 points at 3.5. We got 3 points at 4.5. And then nothing at 5.5 or 6. And then another 2 points at 6.5. So if I were to guess, I do think that the Raiders cover this game. I think that the Bengals are being a little bit overvalued because of that impressive Chiefs win. But this Raiders team, they just can't seem to quit. I could see this being a game where Max Crosby gives Joe Burrow and that Bengals offensive line fits. I can see David Carr moving the ball enough, getting Darren Waller back. So if I had to guess, I do think that the Bengals win, but the Raiders cover. But I'm not really seeing a play here just because of, the sharp money is based on the OddsJam perfect line isn't in favor enough. So moving on to the total, and I did say that I already took the total. I got it at under 49.5. Looks like The total is still about 49, 49 and a half. So the OddsJam perfect line looks like there's a little bit of value on the over 48, but only 1 point. And then starting at 49 and a half, it all trends towards the under. So 10 points at 49 and a half, 4 points under 4, 8 points, 4 points at under 50, 8 points at under 50 and a half, another 8 points at 51. So this under 49 and a half on FanDuel, I've already put money on it. I'm going to go ahead and put another 50. I do think that this is a really good bet. I could see this being a game, like I said, where Max Crosby causes Burrow fits. And then Derek Carr and Joe Burrow in his first playoff game, I don't quite have enough faith in to really do some damage. And, Derek Carr had a good game against the Chargers, but he's kind of been hit or miss in his career. He has some good weapons in Waller and Hunter Renfrow has just been incredible. Obviously, they got a decent running game with Josh Jacobs, but the Bengals defense really showed some stuff in that second half against the Chargers, second half against the Chiefs. I mixed that up. If we look at, I believe the Chiefs scored on their first 4 possessions, scored 28 points. And then the second half, I think the Chiefs just got a field goal. So, yeah, they put up 28 points in the first half, 3 points in the second half. So incredibly impressive performance from the Bengals defense that I think they'll continue against the Raiders. So under 49 and a half is a total that I'm pretty confident in. So as you can see on the screen, I have posted a screenshot of my bet on FanDuel, 50 points on the under 49 and a half. Now we're done there. So next up, we got the Bills versus the Patriots. So money line looks like there isn't a ton of value anywhere. So there's no positive value on the Patriots at plus 176 is the OddsJam perfect line. Minus 200 is the OddsJam perfect line for the Bills on the money line. And you can match that at a bunch of different sports books, but not anything I'm super confident in putting my money on. So going to the point spread. So looking at the Bills, we have them spread. The spread for them is about -4, -4.5. It does look like the money is pretty positively trending towards the Patriots. So if you buy a couple points towards the Bills you get them Bills -3, -139 is the OddsJam perfect line, but -137 isn't enough. But starting at Patriots +4, you get some pretty good value continuing going towards the Patriots. So 4 points at +4, 8 points at 4.5 from -113 to -105. Another 4 points at Patriots +5, 4 points at 5.5, 5 points at 6, and then ending at 10 points at Patriots +6.5. So I don't quite. I'm not quite confident enough, or want to put down the terrible odds at getting them at -135, but the Patriots -105, I do think that's a play I'm really confident in. And there's a couple reasons why. So number one, and the main reasons for this is the weather. So if we look at the weather, Patriots, Bills weather report. So this is the night game. It's Sunday night at about 8:15 East time. And the temperature is supposed to be in the single digits. So right now, high of 14, low of 5. So the first time these two teams played, it was really, really bad weather regarding the wind. And to be clear, there's no indication that the winds are going to be as bad as there was. So I don't think that the passing and kicking game is going to be quite as affected as the first game, sorry. But I do think that the weather is going to play a factor. So the stats on Josh Allen playing in cold weather is not favorable. So while I do think that the Bills win, I'm actually more confident that the Patriots cover. So I think there's a higher likelihood that this game stays within a field goal than there is the Bills winning outright. So my favorite play of the night so far is this Patriots +4.5. So I'm going to go ahead and make that my $100 play. I'm very confident in that. And using the same logic, I'm also incredibly confident in the under. So right now, the under is about 44.5. I got it at 44.5. It looks like there is still some value there. I should say the first video I did identifying early lines was 44.5, and there's still some value there. And the logic is the same. It's a fade on these offenses with the weather. So, the Patriots have been trying to hide Mac Jones as often as they can. They love to lean on the run game. And he doesn't have the strongest arm that you think will be able to deal with the cold. While Josh Allen does have an absolute howitzer, he struggled in the cold weather. So I've already put 50 on it earlier. I'm going to go ahead and put another 50 at minus 110 on DraftKings. The under 44.5 is something that I'm incredibly confident in. So to recap, so I have 3 plays on these games before looking at the positive expected value page. So if there's something there, then I will take it. But on the Raiders, Bengals, no play on money line or spread, but I am taking the under 49.5. And for Patriots, Bills, I have a play on both the spread, Patriots plus 5.5, and the total points under 49.5. So now let's look at the positive EV page. So I filtered it for just football, and it does look like there are 2 plays for Saturday. They're both for the Bengals Raiders game. Looks like there's some value on the Raiders first half money line. I don't hate it. The market width is there, so maybe I'll sprinkle some. So it tells me to put about $12 on it. Maybe I'll sprinkle about 15 on this. I don't hate that. Raiders money line. I mean, they've surprised me for a couple weeks now, so who knows? Maybe they'll continue surprising me. And then the next game, the next play, Bengals Raiders under 49.5. That's the bet I already took. So I put 50 on it. The under 49.5. It looks like that is a small positive expected value play. My guess is that that'll grow as the week goes on. This is already one of my plays. So that'll do it for today's video. That'll be all my picks. So just to recap, and I'll have a screenshot at the end recapping everything. But I got the Patriots. I got them plus 4.5. I got the under 44.5. And for the Bengals Raiders game, I just have the under 49.5. So, and then the next 3 games on Sunday's games, I'll preview in a different video. Monday's game, I'll preview in a different video. And once the player props start populating, I'll make sure to post some plays on Twitter as well. But as far as this video goes, that's all I got for you. So, like I said, follow me on Twitter at my handle below. I'll start posting my plays for these games. I'll also post some college basketball and NBA ones. I've been pretty successful this week, so definitely make sure to give me a follow. You can also email me, Matthew@oddsjam.com. I make sure to check my email as often as I can and respond when I can. And you can also comment, obviously, check the comments, make sure that I see what the people are saying, giving me feedback. And that's all I got for you. So other than that, make sure you rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help us grow and get a wider audience. And that's all I got for you. So happy betting, happy watching, and good luck.